Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As I reported to you guys in the last video, AMC's cost to borrow rates are very close to 1,000%, and AMC has been in this downtrend now for the last 6 days. AMC is currently sitting at a major support level, and we're going to take a look at that on the charts because I think this level will be very important. Now, AMC still has earnings upcoming, and I think earnings will be a very bullish catalyst. Also, at the same time, you just got the CPI rating for today, and markets are now green. It's been very much back and forth. The Fed speakers that we have heard from today didn't really reiterate ultra hawkish tone. Fed George did come out with a pre-release statement of they're gonna have to do more, keep rates higher for longer, the same stuff that we have really been hearing. So you're not really getting that adverse market reaction, although it's not a big up day. You're only up about 0.25% on the S&P, and you are up about 0.5% on the Nasdaq. So overall, I would say the markets are taking this bullishly, even though you missed on all expectations, guys. So we're going to get into everything you need to know. On top of that, we are going to look at this article, why AMC stock might be ready for another short squeeze. So let's get into it. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, especially if this is your first time to the channel. Make sure you comment down below, leave your opinions on where AMC is currently at, and for everyone else as well, that is very important that you guys do that. So let's get into the numbers here first from Ortex, and you're sitting at a live short interest of 23.22%. So very high, guys. Keep in mind, this is the highest short interest has been since June of 2021. So you're very much, in my opinion, sitting on a powder keg. Almost 120 million shares that are currently sold short. 500,000 shares sold short here on the day is what Ortex is giving us. Cost to borrow average of 535.25%. Cost to borrow max at 955%, and cost to borrow minimum back at 1%. Interactive brokers, we do not have an update as far as their cost to borrow rates or their shares available. Last we knew is 60,000 shares available with a 167.5% cost to borrow rate. I would imagine this is 2 to 3, even 4 or 500% here today, given the cost to borrow max jumping so much. And obviously the cost to borrow max is calculated by looking at cost to borrow rates between many different brokerages. Interactive brokers is one of them. So there is that information. As far as option activity on the day, 62 orders totaling $38.66 million, positive order value of 0%. 0%, guys. And I think what is really going on here is, you have a decent amount of orders that came through today, right? Some of these February 17th $10 put for $4 million. March 10th, or a March 17th $10 put for $1.5 million. I think they are using these deep in the money puts as a way to kind of show that they don't have a short position on AMC, because after all, they can use the options to make it look like they don't have a short position, to actually report to the reporting firms that they don't have that short position, or that they have since covered on that short position. So it makes the short interest look like it is a lot lower. And that has been my running theory to why you're seeing so much negative interesting flow sentiment basically every single day from Ortex. Now, like I reported to you guys in the last video, and what I just went over with you guys in the intro, the inflation report came out today. It was a miss across the board. Everything was higher than market expectations, but a lot of people are saying, well, it could have been worse. That's always the argument when you get bad economic data, is it could have been worse. And I think that whole mindset just delays things. Like, I think the mindset today is it could have been worse, but the mindset tomorrow might be, well, this is a problem, right? That it's very high, and the Fed is not going to be cutting rates in 2023. Economic growth is likely doing okay, right? You're going to get retail sales tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning. If those come in hot, well, that's like the worst case scenario, as I pointed out in I think that was 2 videos now, that's like the worst case scenario. Good, spending numbers, good economic growth, and inflation ticking back up again. That's a recipe for the Fed to be more aggressive. So the inflation rate year over year, the headline number 6.4% is what it came out as. 6.3% was the expectation. Core inflation rate year over year came in at 5.6%. Expectation was 5.4%. Core inflation rate month over month came in at 0.4%. Expectation was for 0.3%. And the inflation rate month over month came in at 0.5%. Expectations were 0.4%. So it was just 1 point basically across the board. Besides core inflation rate year over year, that actually came in 2 points higher than markets expectations. But by and large, markets are reacting positively today. Like I said, with the narrative, it could have been worse. If we take a look at the option activity over on Stock O Tracker, you can see for this Friday, you have 12,000 calls that are currently in the money, 348,000 calls that are out of the money. In the money puts at 118,000 and out of the money puts at 303,000. So you are seeing a lot of option activity for AMC this week, and I think that's going to make it even more critical throughout the remaining days of this week to see how we really react around this 450 support level. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the lineup for earnings. So today in after hours, you have Devon Energy, Airbnb, Upstart, TripAdvisor, Herbalife, the Andersons, NerdWallet, Livin, and New. Devon Energy, Airbnb, Upstart, those are going to be the big ones. TripAdvisor as well as Herbalife could also be big movers. Tomorrow morning, Roblox, The Trade Desk, Kraft Heinz, Krispy Kreme. Who doesn't like a little Krispy Kreme in their life? You know what I'm saying? They're going to be reporting earnings tomorrow morning. Tomorrow and after hours, Shopify, Roku, Cisco, Twilio. Those will also be the big earnings. Now, Thursday pre-market, Crocs, Datadog, Paramount, Hasbro, and Shake Shack. Thursday after hours, DraftKings, Applied Materials, DoorDash, as well as Redfin. Friday pre-market, John Deere is going to steal the show. So you do have some decently important companies that will be reporting earnings here. And really in after hours, Airbnb as well as Upstart, probably going to be the big ones for obviously the technology sector, the lending sector, right? Devon Energy is going to be big for energy. So I would more so watch specific sectors. These companies, they're not going to move the broad indexes around all too much, but in their certain sectors, they can have big implications. So there is that. Let's talk about the FTDs here just for a second. If you guys are unaware with this situation, AMC is still indeed on the threshold securities list. And today you did see about 1.4 million shares that had to be bought back per the failure to deliver. Tomorrow you are going to see another 1.3 million. Now I will reiterate yet again, you want to watch tomorrow's narrative to see if it changes into this whole these results were bad, inflation was bad, and you could see that market move to the downside, right? Just because you are seeing this move today to the upside doesn't necessarily mean that the markets are going to take this inflation data positively, and that's something I do want to reiterate to you guys towards the end of this video as well. Now, AMC has really been fighting around this 450 level. You're currently at $4.52.5. You've held this level, and it looks like you're going to hold it into the close of the day as the markets are starting to rip higher into that close, which is very, very interesting. Now, typically when AMC sees so many down days in a row, you will tend to get a rally, and things look pretty negative overall. RSI at 39.73 in very negative territory. The MACD also in very negative territory. Like I said, when you tend to get this oversold, you can get some pretty aggressive rallies to the upside, especially as AMC is holding this 450 level as of right now. That's going to serve as a pretty solid support in my personal opinion. You did break under this in intraday trading to $4.39 per share after then quickly getting back above 450. So I think that did show a very solid sign to us as investors. And if you just do some simple charts here, and I want to look at the low end wicks of these candles, you can see you could see the same pattern, right? Same clear downtrending pattern, and now you have really started to base out and to really bottom out, and I think that is the first step to getting a reversal before AMC does report earnings later. I believe it's later this month. It might be early March. They kind of changed the estimates around quite a bit, or at least they have over the last couple of weeks, guys. So there is all of that information. Like I said, you want to watch this line to the upside around $5.30 per share. That's ultimately where you want to be, and you want to be above that level. But I'm not going to get, too greedy here. I'm not going to set my sights too high right now, because I want to see what's going to happen, number one, with inflation, and specifically how the markets digest this report over the next couple of days. I think that will be a big driving factor for this market. So that is going to be all for this video. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. Most importantly, enjoy the rest of your day, and happy Valentine's.